What is up, everybody? Drake Riggs and Alex Behunin here with MMAmania.com. We are standing outside the T-Mobile Arena right after Noche UFC. My fucking God, Alex, what a night, what a week it has been. Has not felt like a fight night, which has been really fun aspect of everything, but crazy event. I'm still pretty speechless just about everything. It was really quite the buzz in there, man, but like, I don't even know where to start. Obviously, there was the main event. Valentina Shevchenko, Alexa Grasso. They go to a split draw in the rematch. Incredible fight. Better than the first one, I would say. Very competitive. We'll get really into that. Kevin Holland loses his was a split decision, too, against Jack Della Maddalena. Can't even process all the things that happened. Raul Rosas Jr. gets the first round stoppage over Terrence Mitchell by TKO. Under a minute, right, Alex? I didn't even realize it was that quick, but goddamn, it sure was. So I don't even know where to start, Alex, like I said, but I think let's start off with, just overall. Yeah, overall, how do we feel about the event? Let's not do grades or anything, but good, bad? Were you satisfied? Did it meet expectations? I will say real quick, crowd, definitely, it did feel like we were in Mexico, but final impressions on an insane night.
I think, for a fight night card, it was fun. It was fun. The crowd, it was deafening in there. Yes. It was nuts. And even from like the prelims, like usually Vegas cards,
builds up. Yeah.
It's prelims are kind of, but they showed up for the prelims. It was fun. It was a wild week.
Yeah, there was a lot of different moments, and I love specifically in Grasso Shevchenko, which we'll get to right here in a second. But like on the get-ups, from like grappling moments, couldn't hear shit. We were looking at each other. I remember you looked at me and I was like, what? They were freaking out for this. So I want to ask you this before we talk specifically about the main event, man. We were both at UFC 263 Moreno Figueiredo. That was, I forget which fight that was, but Adesanya Vettori 2 was the headliner. I think that was the first event that we covered together. But I want to ask you, that was a very pro-Mexico crowd. Brandon Moreno was massive. He got insane reactions when he won that fight. That was the rematch now that I'm talking about it here. Were they crazier for Grasso at certain times than Moreno? Because that was the craziest kind of Mexican moment I've seen, obviously without being to Mexico in the States, is what I'd say. But comparing those two, since we were both there, was it crazier here?
1,000%.
Okay.
At UFC 270 in Anaheim, for Moreno, it was crazy there too. Mm-hmm. But I still think it was nuts in here, and I don't know if it's like the shape of T-Mobile. It's like a bowl, the sound. I don't know what it is, but they were nuts.
Yeah, it was something else, and multiple deafening moments, like we said. But all right, Alex, let's get into the main event. Crazy rematch between Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. As expected, not a crazy fight in the sense of wild sloppiness, like technique out the yin-yang, between the two best flyweights on the planet. How did we score it, Alex? I think that we're differing on this one, but just thoughts overall on the fights, what you made of it, scores, all the kind of craziness that we got with a fantastic main event.
Mike fucking Bell giving it a 10-8 in the fifth round.
That's the thing.
Really? Really?
I guess so.
That's what it's going to take to do a 10-8? It just... When are the judges going to, the judges are just ruining the sport. It's crazy, dude. I had a 3-2 Shevchenko. I thought she won 1-3-4. 1-3-4, I believe. Okay. And I thought Grasso took 2 and 5. Obviously, the knockdown in the second round, and then the fifth round. Fourth round, I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was a close fight.
That's the round I gave to Grasso.
Yeah, fourth fight, the knee. I understand the knees were damaging. I just felt like Shevchenko had the better round, overall round. Split draw. It's kind of whack. I can't lie. But what do you think of it?
No, yeah, man. I did not see that coming. So the thing is, it was a close fight, round by round. Each round, I think it was one of those cases where they were close but clear in ways. Like you said, First round, Valentina very clear. Second round, Alexa, she got the knockdown, one of the more significant moments in the whole fight. Third round, pretty competitive, but edged it to Valentina. Fourth round, like you mentioned there, Valentina was edging it. I agreed until those knees kind of came into play, which there's speculation of if they were legal or not. I have to watch replay on it, but from our vantage point, I thought maybe mixed, honestly. But since they weren't called, I'm not going to score against them or anything. But then she got the big slam there, had a little bit of control time, didn't really do too much with it, but that was a higher amplitude slam than the takedown that Valentina ended up getting at the very end of the round. And that was only like a couple seconds. She bounced up real quick. That was one of the moments the crowd freaked out, justifiably so. And then the fifth round, Valentina was definitely kind of edging it out there, getting her jab was on point. She was just looking a little bit sharper there in the end of the round. But then, kind of a similar sequence at the end of the first fight, gets taken down, gets in a very bad spot, lots of shots getting eaten there on the ground for about, I want to say, a solid minute and a half, which is what ended up getting her a 10-8 in the eyes of Mike Bell. Yeah, it's I don't you can't justify that. It's just one of those things, man, where like it was dominant, but when you look at the time, it wasn't enough time and damage. I don't even think like it gave her the round for me because it was the most dominant thing that happened in that round. But it would have to like the stuff that happened before would have to be not there for a 10-8. So it's definitely a head scratcher. And I don't know. I think here's the question we got to ask now. Like, I feel like it doesn't ruin the fight though, because if it would have, I don't know. I don't, now that I say that, because either direction I think would have been fine, right? Like we're agreeing on the different sides here. Didn't expect the draw, so it does kind of fuck it up a little bit. And in the moment, like, let's talk about this going forward, right? Flyweight division is fantastic right now, amazing, best it's ever been. This was the worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario. I mean that or Valentina winning, kind of, because then they got to do a trilogy. So that's how I feel now. You got the potential for a mini tournament, right? Do Blanchfield and Furo, same card, same night as a trilogy fight. But with Valentina breaking her thumb, which she revealed in the post-fight, see how quickly she recovers. That could give time to let somebody else slide in. So I think we kind of got to wait on that before jumping the gun. Like I was thinking, like, oh, this fucks up everything. But I mean, what do you think's going to happen then? I guess that's kind of, we got to predict. I guess it comes down to how healthy Valentina's going to be, because Alexa seems fine.
Yeah, and it all depends on whether, like, I'm hearing Mexico's coming early 2024, so it's September now. It depends what she wants to do. Like if she wants to hold on to the belt and fight early next year, and I don't know what what a fractured thumb, what the recovery time is. I feel like the trilogy is needed, but if they don't do that, I say go Aaron Blanchfield.
Yes.
You know, I think if Valentina would have won, maybe the Manon versus Valentina, but I just feel like Blanchfield, it's time.
Yep.
Just do it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And it's kind of weird, right? Because like I totally am on board with everything you just said, but I'm like, I won't be mad at a third fight because this last one was so damn good. It was great.
Yeah, and I would not be mad if Aaron Blanchfield and Manon fight for the number one contender fight, and then see how it all plays out, you know?
Yep, exactly. So just a phenomenal fight. Very curious to see what happens with the flyweight division, of course. But let's get to the co-main event now, Alex. Very interesting one. I mean, I think it played out for the most part how I thought it would, as we were talking about kind of throughout the week. I don't really know why the fans were booing, because I thought it was pretty solid. I mean, a little spoiled, I guess, tonight, obviously, but agree with the decision. Thoughts on the co-main event?
Yeah, I agree with the decision. Last second, I switched to Holland.
Flip-flopped.
I flip-flopped. I had Jack the entire week, and then I flip-flopped. It was weird though that the crowd. I mean, even like I said that the crowd was booing on social media, and people were like, "Yeah, well, it was a sparring match. What did you expect?" And it's like, bro, like it was a chess match. It really was, and being in there, like Jack was landing, like
he was doing good.
They were landing on each other. Like I think calling it a sparring match is kind of disrespectful, but I mean it was a really good win, and beating Kevin Holland is legit. I think it really. I think it washes the taste that people had
last fight
about Jack's last fight away a little bit. There's still going to be the people that are complaining like, oh my God, all you gotta do is take Jack down,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. But
He defended the one takedown nicely.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin
Sure
shot
did.
for a good one there.
sure did. And I'm just gonna say it. I think you either do Jack Madalena versus Vicente Luque 5-round main event, or you run back. You do Jack Della Maddalena versus Sean Brady, and you run it back.
Yeah, I like both of those two. It's just kind of like, which one do you want to do? Vicente's in kind of a weird spot right now, I think, and Sean hasn't fought since Bilal, right? So he's still looking for the rebound there. I think it depends where they want to place Jack, right? Because main event Vicente makes more sense than a main event Brady. So
Yes.
that's kind of where I fall on that.
Do you like the Shavkat matchup?
No. Shavkat, it's not going to happen, but Shavkat deserves like an Usman type guy. You know, he needs, he's right there. So I don't think that Jack that'd be quite a jump for him. And I mean, Shavkat just wants and needs anybody right now, obviously, but we'll see. There's obviously the MVP fish floating out there still. We'll see what could happen. But yes, that was the co-main event, folks. So as for the rest of the card, Alex, any big standouts? There were obviously a lot of great performances throughout, but who do we want to highlight from the rest of the card?
I think Loopy was a very.
Yes.
She came out, dominated, made it look easy. I thought she was going to get in there and trade with Elise, which she did, and she messed Elise Reed up on the feet, but she used her grappling, which was. I hope she would, but I really want to. We did a preview on
yesterday.
Yesterday did not happen. So and I said in that preview I was looking forward to Daniel Zellhuber, and he shined. That first round he got rocked really really hard, and I was like, oh man, like that was. But he had that Mexican chin. He survived, and he submitted Christoph Yagos, who's a veteran who's been there with some killers. And I think I think the light was very bright on Daniel tonight.
Yeah, no, I think those are definitely both solid picks. So I don't have too much more to add, but I do want to say that Tracy Cortez did impress a little bit with trading and exchanging and winning kind of on the feet, maybe more than I would have expected, and not needing her wrestling as much as I definitely thought she was going to maybe try to impose. So that was a war as well. So shout out to Tracy, who will maybe move up one ranking at least. I mean, she's like 13 right now, 14-ish, so shouldn't go too high off of beating Jasmine, who's not ranked, was bumped out of the rankings recently. So shouts to all of them, but everybody performed pretty well, I thought, throughout the night. So yeah, Noche UFC was crazy, man. It was awesome. I hope that we get kind of more events like this that are fight nights, but not, because this is like this very nice middle ground, and hopefully they could do an annual thing. But overall, great night. So I guess let's leave it with let's do grades. I mentioned it at the beginning here, Alex, but what do we give the event overall?
I think I'd give it like I was gonna do like an 8, but the split draw really like leaves a really bad taste, and that Mike Bell fucking 10-8 really like just it irks me. It really does irk me. And the Kyle Nelson 30-27 really irked me too. So I'm gonna say like a 7. It was I think a 7. It's like a solid 7.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 9 and not a 10 because of the decision at the very end. And I go that high because of the fact that it was such a unique thing and it delivered the way that it did. And then we, of course, can't have nice things that are perfect in MMA. The MMA gods don't care. But everything was a home run, I think, just from the overall week to how the fights played out. So 9 for me, but judging decisions that are bad are never good. So that drops it down a point. But all right, you guys, that wraps up our post-fight recap of Noche UFC. But Alex, before we go, we got a little bit of news for the fine maniacs out there. You wanna drop it on them?
Coming next month, October, Sound and Pound, a new podcast. It's coming. It's going to be fun. It's going to be breakdowns, previews, interviews, prospects, movie club, all sorts of shit. It's going to be fun. We're looking at Tuesdays. We don't have an official drop date yet. We're trying to still kind of figure it out. It's looking like probably we're going to drop it around Abu Dhabi, maybe Bellator 300. I don't know. It's one of those two dates, but we will keep you posted. So just keep looking for the promos, and be excited. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely, and it will be live, so you guys can always interact with us and whatnot here on the YouTube channel for MMAmania.com. Don't forget to follow MMAmania.com on all the social media platforms. You can follow me at DrakeRiggs _ Twitter and Instagram, Alex Behunin at Twitter and Instagram as well. All the other stuff, we're kind of on Threads. I am, at least, not really looking at it anymore. TikTok, those, just do the big two. Anyways, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed Noche UFC. Hope you enjoyed our recap, hanging out with us here, and stay tuned for Sound and Pound, all the great stuff we got coming out at MMAmania.com. And we'll see you next time.